former Labour Party leader Jeremy Corbyn suspended from the party today following the release of a report from the Equality and Human Rights Commission, a damning report into the conduct and culture of the Labour Party. Going to bring you all the very latest in this report, guys, but if you could please start off by making sure you've hit that subscribe button and the bell so you don't miss future reports. I bring you all the very latest on this. Now, just to go back to the report itself, the Equality and Human Rights Commission being absolutely scathing today and absolutely clear, our investigation into anti-Semitism in the Labour Party has found unlawful acts of discrimination and harassment. The EHRC's interim chairwoman, Caroline Waters, said there had been inexcusable failures which appeared to be the result of a lack of willingness to tackle anti-Semitism rather than an inability to do so. Ms Waters said the Labour Party made a commitment to zero tolerance for anti-Semitism, but our investigation has highlighted multiple areas where its approach and leadership to tackling anti-Semitism was insufficient. This is inexcusable, she said, and appeared to be as a result of a lack of willingness to tackle anti-Semitism rather than an inability to do so. Now, in this report was this paragraph: we found specific examples of harassment, discrimination and political interference in our evidence, but equally of concern was a lack of leadership within the Labour Party on these issues, which is hard to reconcile with its stated commitment to a zero tolerance approach to anti-Semitism. Now, Jeremy Corbyn's response today said that concerns about anti-Semitism had been dramatically overstated for political reasons. And I quote, this is his statement, part of his statement: "The scale of the problem was also dramatically overstated," Corbyn said, "for political reasons by our opponents inside and outside the party, as well as by much of the media." That has led, as the Telegraph report, to the Labour Party suspending Jeremy Corbyn from the Labour Party for his response to an independent report into anti-Semitism in the Labour Party. Corbyn said the concerns about anti-Semitism, as I said, had been dramatically overstated for political reasons, a comment he refused to retract. So Keir Starmer said the findings of the report by the Equalities and Human Rights Commission mark a day of shame for the party and has promised to implement its findings in full. A Labour spokesman saying today that in light of his comments made today and his failure to retract them subsequently, the Labour Party has suspended Jeremy Corbyn pending investigation. He has also had the whip removed from the Parliamentary Labour Party. Now, Corbyn has responded to this by saying, "I will strongly contest the political intervention," as he calls it, to suspend me. Now, before I get on to some other reactions to this, it's clear here, I mean, the Labour Party is in the gutter. And, you know, remarkable, isn't it, that the man who Labour MPs up and down the country were campaigning to make Prime Minister and to lead the country is now suspended from the Labour Party for his response to this report. Let's be thankful that Jeremy Corbyn isn't and will never be Prime Minister of this great country. Now, Dame Margaret Hodge, a Jewish Labour MP, said Jeremy Corbyn was in permanent denial about the extent of the problem that emerged during his leadership. She said that it happened on his watch. He shaped the Labour Party that allowed anti-Semitism from the fringes to the mainstream. And she described him as yesterday's man when she said what we have to do now is ensure Sir Keir Starmer's actions match up to his words. Now, the leaders of the Board of Deputies of British Jews, the Jewish Leadership Council and Community Security Trust issued a joint statement following the release of the report from the Equality and Human Rights Commission on anti-Semitism in the Labour Party. They said this report is a damning verdict on what Labour did to Jews under Jeremy Corbyn and his allies. It proves why British Jews were so distressed, and it disgraces those who attacked us for speaking out against anti-Jewish racism. Our Jewish community never wanted this fight, but we had to defend ourselves, and we are proud to have done so. We thank all those who stood with us, despite the abuse they received as a result. Jeremy Corbyn will rightly be blamed, they say, for what he has done to Jews and Labour, but the truth is more disturbing, as he was little more than a figurehead for old and new anti-Jewish attitudes. They go on to say that all of this was enabled by those who have deliberately turned a blind eye, and now the task of cleaning out the problem lies with the current leadership. They welcome the start that Keir Starmer has made, but the scale of the challenge they say lies ahead should not be underestimated. They continue to give their support to all who work to drive out racism, out of our politics and out of our society. The Jewish Labour movement said anyone who claims anti-Semitism allegations have been exaggerated should be ejected from the party. Mishkan Dereya, the legal practice that represents the Jewish Labour movement, has released a statement on the EHRC's findings. Katie Holton, head of the politics and law group, saying the EHRC has concluded that the Labour Party was not a safe space for Jewish people or those who stand up against anti-Semitism. This is a stark and unprecedented decision against a major political party. It is also a clear and welcome signal that racism in any form will not be tolerated within politics. And another comment that was flagged up by political editor of The Sun, Harry Cole, this quote, that EHRC found evidence of political interference in the complaints process with 23 instances of inappropriate involvement by the leader of the opposition's office. Some commentators, I think, summing up quite well. Dan Hodges, one journalist, responding to this, saying, not sure what's left to say about Corbyn and anti-Semitism. The EHRC report speaks for itself. Corbyn's comments speak for themselves. The comments of his apologists, current and historic, speak for themselves. It's time to leave him to rot in political obscurity and move on. The stench around the Labour Party isn't going to go away anytime soon. I think we've seen the nasty elements of the far left in this country exposed now, and yet still some seem to be in a state of denial. That won't wash whatsoever. And as for Sir Keir Starmer, actions speak louder than words. Suspending Jeremy Corbyn is one action he has taken. But what do you think the future of the Labour Party in this country looks like, guys? Let me know what you think about this Corbyn suspension from the Labour Party, what you think about the future direction of the Labour Party, and what you make of this report that really lays out some pretty disturbing findings. Let me know in the comments, guys, and as ever, if you've enjoyed this report, please give it a thumbs up, consider supporting my work by clicking join, and of course, as ever, thank you very much for watching.